If you play out of 100 games, you sit in this position, your odds of winning is higher. It's not 100% you sit here confirm, but like that, I always play Balang can already.
Like that, you'll be also damn rich, right?
You
Because
see me at MBS all the time.
The thing is that, right, like I would say when I was younger, when I'm trying to figure out like things in general, Feng Shui seems like a very magic-y, timey-wimey kind of thing. Like you don't understand what it is, and some people might I would say mistake it as like it's a very religious magic thing. And I feel that now it's a very macro-analytical kind of situation, and the fact that we are using like elements to describe these kind of things, right, kind of distance people away from I would say the true scientists, the kind of people who are super bad in science. Have people ever like come up to you and try to fight you in the way you have analyzed things?
Of course, you have people who wants to. I mean, I wouldn't say they challenge me. They really want to understand.
Right.
It's like, how do you come to this conclusion? You know, how do you describe me as a person so accurately based on things I don't believe in? Then they will be very curious to learn. And most of the time, I'm quite patient. I mean, I also feel like part of my job is to teach the public what I know.
Right.
So I can tell you, when it comes to Chinese knowledge, Chinese people or older Chinese people are very lazy to explain themselves.
Yes.
They're very, very lazy to explain. I must tell you, all my masters, most of the time, they're like, you don't gotta ask so many questions.
Just do.
But then we are dealing with a new generation altogether. Because I myself am a bit like that. I was like, you cannot just give me the conclusion. You must tell me the process and why you come to this conclusion, right? So because I'm very curious, I'm very willing to share this with people who are just like me. So I sometimes feel like I'm very good at dealing with this kind of clients because I myself don't subscribe to a very fatalistic way of looking at Feng Shui. It's like, why dog and dragon cannot get along? It's like, why cannot?
And with what?
Then you have to explain. Dragon carries certain energy, dog carries certain energy. They belong to what season, and therefore there's a clash and stuff like that. So I must say, yes, you do get clients like that, and my staff are also very smart. When they have people who ask a lot of these kind of questions, they usually say, then you go and look for Mark lah. Mark is good at explaining these kind of things.
But I guess also it's quite inevitable that you probably will find a lot of these kind of people who don't believe in this kind of thing lah. I mean, even in the videos that went viral with you, it's like the ranking of zodiac and all, and the fortune luck, right? There were a lot of comments also that were like, but correct. Like, I gambled during Chinese New Year, I lost all my money, but I didn't. But I'm supposed to get the best luck. Fortune luck.
I think being a Fengshui master, as with anything else in life you cannot satisfy 100% of the people. And you must understand that satisfying 100% of the people is not your job. You know, and this is applicable to all jobs, right? Say for example, you are someone who talks about investment, and obviously you have your own thesis, you have your own basis for saying certain things, and then some people might still say, you anyhow say, without really giving you any substantial challenge. Reason why they say that is I just don't like your face, you shouldn't say that. And if you're gonna spend all your energy dealing with those people, then it's not a very good way of dealing with your trade. So I don't see my need. I don't see myself having a need to address people who are obviously spoiling for a fight. If you're on the fence, I'm very willing to spend time with you to explain to you why I feel a certain way. But it takes two open minds to have a conversation. If I feel like the other person just completely don't really want to hear my reason, then what's the point?
True.
Some people take Feng Shui as a very prescriptivist way of thinking. Like, if the Feng Shui master swan like that, it's going to happen like this. But do you think it's prescriptivist on its own, or it's just to describe you and your tendency so you personally go and watch out for it? I mean, if you say your luck heng, but you every day Chinese New Year 12th day go and ban luck, there's a higher chance for you to lose the money, right?
Yeah, that's why I say people choose their Feng Shui master based on themselves, right? If you are a very prescriptive kind of person, most of the time you want someone who gives you very straight answer.
Right.
I bad luck, I sit where you tell me where can make money. You know what I mean? If you are the kind of person, you want that kind of answer. But if you don't subscribe to that yourself, you would never find a Feng Shui master like that one who tells you that because you're a dog and you're a dragon, you cannot get married. You know what I mean? I think most of the people these days, we are a bit more open-minded. We also understand that even science can sometimes be wrong. Right?
Yeah.
So because we are evolving, I think you can see my client base also being more open-minded. Right? They don't come in and say, hey, you must tell me what to do in order for me to win bad luck. I usually don't entertain this kind of question. I think that they're just making a joke. I just take it as a joke. But I would say, your lucky direction is a certain direction. Right. If you play out of 100 games, you sit in this position, your odds of winning is higher. You know what I mean? It's not 100% you sit here confirm bad luck. Like that, I always play bad luck can already.
Like that, you will be also damn rich, right?
You see me at MBS all the time.
At the casino, every time you play, you know exactly what move, right? Cannot be, right? Yeah, that's quite true. But then I guess also one of the reasons why there are all these people who don't really believe in it, right? We had a brief conversation about this before the shoot started, but it's about the zodiac rankings. So the rankings are different for different Feng Shui masters, and there are also a lot of those standees in shopping malls, where they during the Chinese New Year period, everyone goes to read, and every time you go to one, right, it's different from the other one that you just read yesterday. Yeah, and aside from that, also the argument is that if you are looking at purely zodiac sign, the rank, the stars, and the description for the year and all that, right, it applies to everybody born in that year, everyone who is a rabbit, and that's so many people. Isn't it very general?
It is very general, and that's why I'm invited to give a lot of talks, right? And I always make the disclaimer: take whatever I say with a pinch of salt, because everybody actually has a different chart. Right? In your Ba Zi chart alone, you already have 4 different zodiacs. Your combination with the next person, you could be born the same year but different month, different day, different hour, and the combination is already very different. So what I can only touch on is based on the year zodiac, right? Just like actually Western astrology, they do the same thing, right? They base it on months. But I studied Western astrology as a module just because I think it's fun. I want to make comparison in Feng Shui, right? They also have the 12 palaces. You can also use it in the yearly standpoint, in the monthly standpoint, the hourly standpoint, the daily standpoint, which is very close to what Ba Zi is. Basically, you have 4 pillars. You have the year pillar, the month pillar, the hour pillar, and the day pillar. To really accurately tell you your luck, you have to know all this information. But when I'm giving a talk out there, if I'm putting a standee out in the shopping mall, I cannot be like, hey, you come in and I do calculation for you. I give you a dedicated standee. The permutations for Ba Zi is over 1 million. So how can I have 1 million standee in every shopping mall? Yeah, it's not possible. But so I always tell people, take it with a pinch of salt. It does affect your overall mood for the year. Right. But if you want to look at the different aspects, say for your relationship, for your job, for your benefactor luck, for your money investments and stuff, you have to look at the combinations of different zodiacs, or at least different pillars in your zodiac.
Right, okay. Regarding the rankings, you also mentioned something that was quite interesting, which is that WayFengShui was actually one of the... Oh no, was actually the first to start the rankings. So maybe give us a bit of backstory on the whole ranking system.
Like I say, so we were the first to give ranking because I was given the responsibility to go out and do zodiac talks. And my father at that point told me that I'm very tired of giving zodiac talks. I've been talking about this for 20 years. Can someone else please do this? And at that time, I was the editor in charge of all the Chinese New Year information. So I thought to myself, if I'm going to do it, I don't want to do it the same way my father did it, because I think it's quite boring. I want to do it in an interesting way where people can relate. So the first thing I did was I put 12 zodiacs together and say, who's the luckiest for the year? And who's the least lucky? And then I start ranking them one by one. And over time, we develop a way of looking at stars individually to see whether this star has a higher weightage in terms of good luck or higher weightage in terms of bad luck. So internally, we have a system to already rank you based on the stars you have within your own astrological palace. So over time, then we started ranking law. And then once we started ranking, everybody thought, hey, this is a very interesting way of communicating what you know to other people, because then I can compare myself to other zodiac and see whether I'm luckier, right? This is a good conversation starter. And then over time, we took that idea and developed more and more. I still remember, actually, I get a lot of ideas from talking to my dad. My dad likes to share grandfather stories with me, and I like to use grandfather story to make it into something that we as the younger generation can understand. So he told me last time you know that when you flip to the Tong Shu there is a boy and an ox, and then from this picture you can tell whether the weather is good this year, whether there's going to be a drought, whether there's going to be good harvest, whether winter is going to come earlier or later for that year. And I was like, why draw a picture when you can explain clearly in words, right? He said, because last time people cannot read, right? That's why we draw pictures. I was like, that's a great idea. I'm going to draw 12 zodiacs together in a picture and explain to them what is their role for the year and what kind of background to create to tell them what kind of year are we all dealing with. Which is why, I mean, during Chinese New Year, we start talking about mahjong. When you play mahjong, where should you sit? What is your role in the mahjong den? You know, who is the richer zodiacs? Who is the banker? Who is the one playing mahjong? Who is the one bring water and drinks to you guys? And we thought, to me, it's a personal mission to make feng shui more accessible to people. And that, to me, is ideas born out of talking to my dad, you know, to bring feng shui to the modern society lor.
Okay.
And after the rankings released, right, do you find yourself having more clients be like, oh no, I'm in the bottom 6, I better come and like get it sorted out to like find what I cannot wear purple, you know, a number is bad? Or do you find the people who are like, oh, I'm in the top 6, means this year what? Maybe I got chance, go and find out from Fengshui Master, like what should I be?
I can tell you people are way smarter than that. Because when they look at the ranking, they also know that it's not the whole picture.
Right.
Yeah, they will say, hey, I'm a bit worried that I'm ranked so low. Can you tell me why?
Right.
Then you will tell them, why is this zodiac ranked so low and how this might not be relevant for you even though it's your year zodiac.
Right.
And then they will be like, then they feel a bit better, right? Or they feel like, wow, actually I'm not that heng.
Yeah, but I guess also like for myself or my family, there's this term like 犯太岁. Yeah, so if there's that, then usually my parents will tell me to go temple and pray.
Yeah, so do you understand the reason why?
No. I mean, they tell me I should go, then I follow them, lor. But I don't actually know why.
You see, this is what happens in our society, right? Because your parents ask you to do, therefore you do it, right? So 犯太岁, actually, you know how the 12 zodiacs are? I actually belong to 12 different palaces. Okay. And one of the palace is usually the one nearest to the star of Jupiter.
Okay.
And star of Jupiter in Chinese astrology is known as the 太岁星.
Okay.
So the palace that is nearest to Jupiter is the one that 犯太岁.
Okay.
So based on that, because in Chinese astrology, the star of Jupiter is the biggest and the most fearsome star.
Right.
Therefore, they tell you have to appease to 太岁. Appease to 太岁last time means praying in a certain direction and hoping that Jupiter don't get mad at you.
Right. I see. Okay.
And then each of this direction are represented by different deities, which is why we go and see the different deities and pray to them, right? So there's a reason behind all this, and the more we find out, then the more we understand what we are doing, right?
Yeah.
So much sense. I thought it's just like a magic 3-word thing. If like they tell you this year 犯太岁, you better go temple pray. I'll just go.
Yeah, I mean, because to me it's like, I'll go temple pray, then maybe luck better. Luck better, okay.
So 犯太岁also means that this is a year that you have to usually means that you have to take on a bit more responsibility. That means you are the zodiac in charge of all the other zodiacs, right? So you must show up that year. So usually 犯太岁, you are praying for peace and for a smooth and peaceful year, because you have more things to do. You have to be more responsible for people around you. Yeah, so therefore you want to ask for a bit more blessing, but at the same time, it's not a year for you to do completely nothing. You want to take less risk because you already have a lot on your plate.
Right.
And you want to do the things that you have to do well.
Oh,
that's
so
why you ask for peace. Yeah.
That was not what I thought it was. I thought just you're gonna be sway. You walk everywhere also sway.
Yeah.
But it just you're just exposed to more things.
Yeah.
So you're just asking for all the more things to not be bad.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Ask for smoothness and peace in all the things that you have to deal with.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So
Sick,
this is
sick.
the first time.
Yes.
First time,
I'm
first
learning.
time I've heard of it. So
It's interesting.
been praying, but don't know pray for what.
But as long as it works for you, you'll continue doing it, right?
Yeah. I guess so.
Yeah.